Hello everybody, just quickly before the video starts, I just want to say a massive thank you for all of the love on the President Band reaction video I did. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. This is a long one. I kind of battled with myself wondering if I should upload this into two parts, one long video or 10 individual videos. And I kind of settled on one long video just to A, see how it's received, but B, you know, it's an album and I think an album deserves to be listened to from start to finish. So, you know, maybe the reaction will kind of play into that. It's kind of like a listen along, to be honest. But let me know down below if you wanted it any other way. Enjoy, and I'll see you in this outfit in part two. In part one, I'm wearing a different one. It's like a Mariah Carey episode of Cribs. Deuces, why? Hello, my name is Lewis Watson. I have been a professional musician for 16 years, released 4 albums, toured the world, all of that nonsense, which is ultimately, well, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter, but just let me brag. You never let me brag anymore. You know, and I am here to react to music. Let's go with Sleep Token's new record. This is Even in Arcadia. Oh, sorry, my lunch. Okay. Oh, I've lost my spot now. Where was I? Whoa, my chair is moving. My chair's possessed. Vessel? Sorry, what's the point? Sleep Token. I have been a Sleep Token fan for a little while now. I went to go see them at Wembley with my friend, really enjoyed the show. I have actually delayed my listening to this record because I wanted to plonk a camera down and chat into it through the entirety of it because, of course, whoa, I've just noticed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs are over 6 minutes. That's great. That's great. I've had it with these 2-minute songs, man. I've had it. 2 minutes is a preview of a song. 2 minutes of is a snippet, right? I don't want to be listening to a new song in 2 minutes. I want to commit to a song for more than 2 minutes. So that's good. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. I have heard the 2 singles. I heard Emergence, admittedly only a few times, and then Caramel, you know, maybe a couple dozen times. And it was listening to Caramel that made me want to do this in front of a camera, I guess, because I went through a whole roller coaster of emotions listening to that, and I imagine that will happen more than once in the record. I'm going to get into it swiftly. Sorry, I've already taken too long. This first song is called Look to Windward, and it goes like this. It's like Lavender Town.
Will you listen just as my form starts to fission, losing this war of attrition?
Turn out.
Just as I drift away, will you haunt this eclipse in me? Will you haunt this eclipse in me?
Straight away, the vocal production here, there's a lot more clarity to Vessel's voice, which I really like. Also, it feels less, you know, soft on your. That it feels less, like stylized, you know. There's just a lot more. It's a lot more direct, and there's a bit more clarity, which is nice. I actually heard that a lot in Caramel, and you know, instantly thought like, wow, it really feels like a step up in vocal production, which is a big thing. Vessel's voice is a large part of Sleep Token's success, and I think to showcase that and to give it, you know, the stage that it deserves is correct. And it sounds like that straight away. 1 minute in, sounds like that.
Will you haunt this eclipse in me? Will you haunt this eclipse? eclipse in me. With the shadows longer to me than a light, yeah. Moving so slow I could die, yeah. Say you can let me say, will you hold this eclipse in me? Will you hold this eclipse?
I'm a big fan. I was watching a Justin Hawkins Rise Again video on President, which I've also done a reaction to the new President song as well. But his came up as a recommended after I'd uploaded that, and he had spoke a lot about people kind of altering their pronunciation of words in order to fit rhymes, which I have nothing against. You know, the English language, well, any language is to be, you know, molded. It's to be forged into say something that you want. Vessel's doing it here. Let me get the lyrics. He said, "Say you can hear me say." Starting and ending that line with the same word is quite nice as well. Say you can hear me say, will you halt this eclipse in May? You know, instead of will you halt this eclipse in me, it's kind of having it rhyme with say is quite nice. Wow, this is different. Plucks there. Strings. Is there a cough in that? A little cough in the background there. Coughing up blood. Two, can you give us a give us a cough?
Everything looks the same. Will you hold this eclipse in me? Will you hold this eclipse in me?
I'm just gonna pause it there quickly. Oh, sorry, I wanted to give that breakdown the respect it deserved. That was very reminiscent of Sleep Token now. So it took them 3.5 minutes to get to, you know, that first 3.5 minutes wasn't not Sleep Token, but you know, to not have drums, you know, in a song as a metal band for 3.5 minutes is pretty bold choice, I suppose. And that whispered, you know, will you? Oh, very reminiscent of Ascensionism, you know, and I just knew what was coming after that, and it didn't disappoint. Again, doing that President react has really reignited my fire for Fight Star, and there are a lot of Fight Star-esque drums in this breakdown, to be honest. And I think 2 is fantastic. He kind of makes drums more of an instrument than just, you know, somebody hitting something. which I know it's not, but the drums almost sing. The amount of cymbals he's got, and you know, all of the syncopation. That breakdown's really, really nice. I'm gonna try not to rewind so much because, you know, I'll do the whole album, but that was very nice. Crazy panning on the drums there. Had like a tom hard left and a tom hard right.
I've got eyelids heavy enough to break diamonds. You pray for sound and I pray for silence. Downright fate that I can't deny. You'll find me with half a mind to get violent. So give me the edge of a blade and a time and a place, and I'll leave them cold and pushing that border. Walking with God.
That's a very, what I would, you know, consider a very Sleep Token-esque break and change. It's like the new metal, right? It's like, oh, there was a kind of Chester-esque scream there as well into that breakdown. Very long, drawn out, gritty. But yeah, anyway, apologies. That switch up into like the trap style drums, you know, a bit more of a faster cadence on the vocal, more conversational, but that melody in particular, that's so Vessel. Like that's throughout most of the song, and I love those habits. And it's not just on vocalists, you know. I was saying with two and the drums as well. These musicians, they have these like habits, and they're like little little moments that you just like, oh yeah, you know, you could give that line to 100 vocalists and the only person that would find this pocket would be Vessel. And I really, really like that in music, full stop. But having something feel so different at the start, the first 3.5 minutes, now feels like so rooted in Sleep Token, you know. It's really nice.
Stumbling forth until there's fire at the gates, until I fall to the floor. You know I live by the feather and die by the sword, and I was under the earth only to burn the reward. Even in this garden of gardens, I am the god of the gaps. I am the demon of Sodom. I am the blood of an angel, the fate of the fallen. Nobody knows where I came from, even I have forgotten. How can I already lose my way like this? Drowning in burning bright abyss. Even in stratospheric depths, this vertigo. I used to know myself.
That's really nice. Like very choral, lovely choir. I bet live this sounds amazing with the choir there.
Already lose my way.
I really like this
Drowning in burning bright abyss.
this switch up with the cadence. It's really nice. Slower again. Big fan of that. It's really nice. It's very like gospel, you know, choir rooted in that world. But what's really nice here is you're going like Vessel alone. I don't know the melody, apologies, first time listening, but it's like one person and then like 6 people and then one person. It's almost like a breathing, you know. It's like the inhale of one, you know, Vessel singing, and then like a relief and like a really nice resolution to that tension of just one person singing high. You know, good music is well, a lot of things that make music good, but in my opinion, the best music has levels, moments of tension and relief, and they almost don't work without the other, right? It's like if you were to like put on Nights by Frank Ocean, right, and you skip to that time, the time frame where it changes, completely changes. Every night goes every day up, that bit. That's ding ding. That bit isn't as good without the minutes of the other bit before it, you know, and I think that good music really plays on that and has you go like ooh ooh and this feels like a really good a showcase of that. It's really nice. I go back a little bit. One person.
You used to know me well.
It's really nice.
And I wish that I could leave myself alone.
People say Sleep Token aren't really metal. I'm sorry, but they've got a bing. They are as metal, you know. Bob the Builder could do that, and he would be throwing up the. I would be throwing up the horns if he did that. That's really nice, because then you've got small, big, small, big, small, massive. You know, it's really nice.
And I wish that I could leave myself alone. You wish that you could make me.
I love that.
Will you hold this eclipse in me? 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 Will you hold this eclipse in me?
Woo. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please, and thank you for that. Okay, on to Emergence, track 2. Now, I like I say, I have heard this a couple of times.
Well, you were late in verse, living on a promised word. Well, I am the rose you relinquished again. You and I are down head first in another world I had. But I have a feeling we're close to the end. So come on.
That's a really nice. I'm just thinking it's quite interesting to choose this song as the intro to the album. To be honest, because I'd imagine it's clever. Because I'd with this record, I mean, it was what, number 1 on the Billboard charts. I think I saw, which is massive. That is a massive, massive, massive deal for metal. Full stop. For British masked metal, it's massive. It can't be stated how big that is. And I know they do really good business in America. I know that, but that is just huge. But I'd imagine, having a song where the first 45 seconds is piano and vocal serves as a really good handshake to people who don't know Sleep Token, as an introduction to Sleep Token. Because at their core, they very rarely have songs that are only heavy, you know. I can only read Gods, Vor, mate. Well, not even that, to be honest. But like, it's nice to rather than shock people into listening to you, which is another way. It's another way. I'm not saying that's correct or incorrect. This is quite nice because it's like a warm embrace, you know, a nice like, hi, nice to meet you. That melody there, come on, very Deftonesy to my ear. It's not where you expect it to go, you know, which I think is a really, really, really clever thing to do.
Come on, come on, out from underneath who you are. Come on, come on now. You know that it's time to
Really pleasant. Hi. So going into like soft sleep token and then into basically like quintessential sleep token. Clever. Because this then goes into that faster cadence I was talking about. Yeah, it's nice. It's very good songsmithing.
Are you carbide on my nano, red glass on my light bulb, dark light on my culture, sapphire on my white gold, burst out.
That snare hit is almost like he forgot to hit the snare. He's like, I gotta hit it. It's so delayed, and it's so like, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like uncomfortable, you know, because it sounds like that. It's not uptight. It's like a syncopation, you know, thing. But it's maybe that's the incorrect use of that word. So I'm just going to press play before I make more mistakes.
My chest and hide out in the vents, my blood beats so alive, my bite right through your lenses. Midnight in my mind's eye, drowning out the daylight. Godspeed to my enemies, to be asking for that call sign. You know the behavior, canines of the savior. Glory to the legion, trauma for the neighbors.
I don't think there's any guitar in this yet, right? Oh no, sorry. Discount what I just said. There are a lot of guitars before.
I've got solar flares for your dead god, space dust for your fuel rods, dark days for your solstice, dancing through the depths of hellfire on the winds that started from within. My blood beats so alive, my tear right through my skin. So tell me what you meant by living.
It's so fun. It's not funny. Funny is the wrong word here, but it's interesting to me that, you know, Tu did a Drumeo thing where he said that he's quite influenced by, you know, the kind of UK, he said jungle or garage, like the UK dance music scene, and that woo happening throughout this is such a big callback to that, you know, DJ sampling, and it's very cool. It's cool to see those little nuggets throughout.
Past your half-life and lockstep with the universe and your well-versed in the afterlife. You know that I'm sanctified by what's below, no matter what you do, no matter where you go. You might be the one to take away the pain and let my mind go quiet.
Yeah, that line right there is a very good example. I think you give that line to Vessel 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He sings that in a very different way, and it might be production based as well, but it just feels like so much more. I want to say confident, because I don't think he's ever lacked confidence, but like it just feels so much more direct, clarity, focused. I really like that. I really like that. I didn't dislike, you know, when I know that a lot of Sleep Token fans say it's, you know, like he's got peanut butter in his throat whilst he's singing. I don't dislike that. It's instantly recognizable, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. But this here feels like just so much more. I wouldn't be surprised if he's had, I mean, he must have had training. The amount of touring they've done the last 5 years, he must have had like proper vocal coach and training, you know, to make that possible, full stop. But it really feels like it's paying dividends now, because this just feels so clear, so focused, and like, just like there's no doubt in it. And when a singer has that, gets to that stage, you're more likely to believe what they're singing, you know, because it's said with, it gives you that, like, yeah, I believe. There's no like, ooh, am I saying this kind of thing. I really like that line in particular really shines as a song that I can imagine that being on, you know, their past 3 albums, and sounding very different in its delivery. It's really cool. That's such a good change, because I know this is going to be such a long video. I'm in the middle of track 2 and it's been half an hour. Sorry. That is such a good, I just had to check. It is Carl Pound that he's still the producer. I wondered if there was a switching producer. I'm glad they didn't do that. Carl did a lot of Fight Stars Late stuff as well. And I think that he's very, very good in this genre. Very good. This is a very difficult genre to produce, and I think he's done a stellar job. This here changes that. It completely flips the meaning of "come on." Now it's a lot more positive and a lot more like optimistic almost, especially those big chords behind them. It's very nice. Then when it gets up before, oh, that's nice. The guitar riff is doing arms around me. It's the second cadence. That's the vocal maybe. Pretty cool. It's really nice. Oh. Oh, this is Bill Murray saxophonist, right? I'm blanking on their name. Gabby Rose. It's like the 4th genre of this song, in this song. But it sang. Immediately regret saying that, sorry. Really nice. I enjoyed that a lot more than when I first listened to it. It's not that I disliked it, I didn't. but in its context. That's why I love albums, like allowing the songs to hold on, Parcel, allowing the songs to shine in the context that they have been given by the artists themselves, I think is such a massive deal, and something that I know that the music world, music listeners want singles. They want little and often, right? They want music, more music, more often, basically, as I like a song every month kind of thing. I think albums are so important. Listen, making it an event, listen to, because yes, individual chapters of a story might be better or worse than others, but taken out of context, you just lose the flow of it, And of course, you don't listen to albums all the time. Neither do I. Nobody does. But it's nice to like afford the context that has been given by the artist. And shut up, we're going to track 3, Past Self. This is a short song on this album. Oh, out of focus. Sorry.
Are you gonna dance on the line with me? You know it's not a game or a fantasy, and I don't even know who I used to be, and nothing is the same, and some things have to change now. Are you gonna dance on the line with me? You know it's not a game or a fantasy, and I don't even know who I used to be, and nothing is the same, and some things have to change now, now. Clawed out of my woodwork, bolts out of my blue depths, in and out of my dreamscapes, people acting different. One look at my past self, double taking my cash flow, apologizing for shit that frankly I stopped thinking of years ago. And I deliberate on cutting out the demons. I still need a dark side, they just need a reason. The passage of the hours into rushing through the seasons, falling through my mind with the leaves on the trees. So keep me alive, keep me believing that now is the time to take it or leave it. Gave away all my blessings, lift off, weightless, torn apart by the true believers who turned out to be faithless. You're gonna dance on the line with.
That's a really nice lyric, and especially in the context of Sleep Token and Vessel. It says, torn apart by the true believers that turned out to be faithless. It's really nice. It's really nice, you're letting people close to you, and they take that opportunity of being close to you and kind of not betray you, but go against your wishes. I've been very fortunate to dodge all of the who are Sleep Token. It's been very deliberate on my end, I like that it's that I don't know. I really do like that. I think it enhances the music. Goes for it's it's what they stand for as well. And listening to Caramel, we'll get there. I kind of realised that this is affecting him in a way that Vessel was never emotionless. The songs bleed emotion. It is all emotion, but it just came from a space of like this is everybody singing it. This played to 20,000 people. We played for 20,000 different reasons, kind of thing. And Caramel for me, and I know we're not there yet. Sorry, can't jump in ahead. Kind of took away that and became like, no, this is coming from me now. This is coming from me. This is how I feel. And I think that was a nice flip. And it's why I wanted to do this in front of the camera, because that was a really nice realization for me, I think. But yeah, that was a really nice lyric there. It kind of plays into that idea, I suppose. Just going back a little bit.
Gave away all my blessings, lift off, weightless, torn apart by the true believers who turned out to be faithless. You're gonna dance on the line with me.
It's really
no,
good.
It's not a game or a fantasy, and I don't even know who I used to be, and nothing is the same, and some things have to change now. Are you gonna dance on the line with me? You know it's not a game or a fantasy, and I don't even know who I used to be. Stepping up from my future, uploading my true self. Did I get this far for nothing, or are you the reward? Guarding hands in this hell house, opening. Even if this is love, I am out of hesitation. Head over heels of elevation. Walking an inch above the pavement, taking it stride by stride together. If this is real, then I am all up in a frenzy. Not like before when I was empty. Say that the story we tell is never ending, taking it side by side together.
I'm just going to pause there because it may be elevating there. I've had no chance to pause. It's so wordy. This is very much like a radio, you know, pop. This is like on the pop side of the spectrum. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I know that a lot of metalheads, you know, might be skipping this when it comes on. First of all, grow up. Doesn't have to all be shouting and screaming. I'm a massive fan of shouting and screaming, but it's nice to have this relief. And what's nice about this song as well, just looking at those lyrics there, this is a happy song. This is a happy Sleep Token song. Jeez. The world really is ending, if that's the case. You know what's funny is this is a song that would be sung, you know, in like the Live Lounge or Sirius XM. You know, it's very much a radio single, and they're obviously not going to, you know, imagine showing up in their stage, you know, outfits to sit with an acoustic guitar to play the song. Nah, that's not happening, is it? That's not happening. But any other artist, this would be the song that they would play, you know. It's a lot shorter, 3.5 minutes, which means that radio won't freak out. But also it's that thing where it's like, ah, nice, it's happy. It's, you know, let's get this on the radio. But just the thought of like Vessel with an acoustic guitar, which he does at the gigs, you know, I understand that, but in like a, you know, radio room with Dermot O'Leary in front of him. I don't even know who I used to be, but nothing is the same. Some things have to change. No, no, no. That's pleasant. And like a nice bit of relief, you know? That to be track 3 is a choice as well. You know, it's almost like you're trying to keep the new listeners on. I'm not one to question it. That for me feels like a middle of the album pick me up, you know, kind of thing. And I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't know. But also it's nice because if you get these new listeners sticking the album on, it's nice to have that, like, oh, because they're going to lose interest. Well, more likely they're going to lose interest quicker than a Sleep Token fan, right? So clever, just something to think about. Right, track 4, right? This track 4, turn off lyrics. Track 4, Dangerous. Ten minutes of song.
I wish I could have known that look in your eyes would echo in mine and go back out of my mind across the line. When was the last time I felt like this? Dark desire and tainted place. It's like you're dangerous to me. I notice every time we meet, I feel the ground beneath my feet giving way.
Huh, that bass below feels like it's like really loose pitch. It's almost like it goes out of key there.
I feel the ground beneath my feet giving way.
Interesting. Maybe not.
You've got me talking in my sleep as if you're conquering my dreams. You have awakened what's beneath
There's that sound there, which is funny in the background.
You, something in me just cannot but insist to love.
So unmetal. I love it.
So when's the last time you tasted blood? Or what would it take to stem the fire? And I am caught inside, like clockwork beneath the permafrost. I'm gonna lose my mind, back to back with oblivion. Would you might breathe that burning breeze through paradise for me? It's
Two and a half, 1.5 songs, almost 2 songs with no guitars so far. Interesting.
paradise for me. It's like you're dangerous to me.
Right.
Every time we meet, I feel the ground beneath my feet giving way. You got me talking in my sleep, as if you're conquering my dreams. You have awakened what's beneath. Won't you show me how to dance forever?
That's very like 80s motifs there. Dun, 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 dun.
Won't you show me how to dance forever?
That's really nice with that pushed
Show
chord.
me how to dance
Big fan of you know, a word forever meaning, the meaning of forever meaning a very, 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 very long, well, all of the time, and dragging out the pronunciation of it, making that word feel long as it means, you know. I like that. Yeah, I'm glad they ended it like that. I was hoping they would end with that. Ding, 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 ding. It's just so 80s. Love it. I say it's timeless, but it just, you know, calls back to the 80s. Here it is. Here's Caramel. Big fan of this song. I'm sure you've seen all the reactions. So they've got like a real sorry Vessel, a real like deliberate you know, in albums really have like a day cycle and a night cycle. Side, like if you're on a vinyl, side A, side B, right? Where it's like sometimes, a lot of the time it's like, here are the first 5 songs, they're all like, yes, I'm listening to the album, and then the second bit's just like, here are the next 5 songs, and maybe track 7 or 8 you'd have a little, you know, injection of energy, like with Past Self, you know, maybe that was a track 7, track 8, but this feels like a very much like a cycle of the album that is like, these are the ones we're going to send to radio, you know, these are the more accessible ones, let's say, and I like that they've stuck those. You know, the first song wasn't that. The first song was very much like an introduction to the album, which I like. Yeah, so yeah, to have these 3 songs in a row, I feel is a very deliberate. careful, deliberate choice, and one that I like.
Count me out like sovereigns, pay back for the good times. Right foot in the roses, left foot on a landmine. I'm not gonna be there.
Almost hear Sean Paul in the background of this. Someone gives a words
while I cry into the
I love this.
Wear me out like Prada, devil in my detail. I swear it's getting harder. Even just
like Afrobeat kind of influence, modern reggae. It's nice. I love that. That whole section is really nice, both lyrically, thematically, and musically. And I love that coming out with a like a delayed snare. It just feels like a really nice like bookend to that. Just, you know, Vessel basically saying like, well, it's better is better, but is it better? Do you know? Like the data suggests that I'm in a much better place now than I was before this. But with that brings new problems, and maybe those new problems outweigh that difference in how good it is, you know? And he's just about to say here, I guess that's what I get for trying to hide in the limelight, which, you know, again, is a really, really nice image. Basically a nice image of you know, when you're starting out, when you make music, a lot of the time the goal is for it to reach as many people as possible, and because of that, you know, you get yours in the, it kind of takes care of you, you know. But in doing that from the get-go, hiding behind masks and trying to remain as anonymous as possible, you're trying to remove the potential, you know, deadfalls, bad bits of fame. But, you know, because the world is how it is right now, and the essence of data being instantly shared worldwide, that's just something that just won't happen, you know, unless people take extra effort to try and help you conceal that identity. So yeah, it's a really nice, you know, it's such a unique feeling. This is something that hasn't been felt by many people at all. And so to hear from the bird's mouth, as it were, is that the saying? From the bird's mouth? That doesn't sound right. If that's the saying, whoever, you know, originated, Sun Tzu is a numpty. That's really nice that I just want to hear you sing that top line. It's so hard tuned, because, you know, that's something that goes hand in hand. A lot of people think pop music's super manufactured, and, you know, sometimes it is, but having that line in particular be hard tuned is a really nice play on that, you know. And they've done that before. I forget the song. Maybe it's Take Me Back to Eden, where they've done that before. It's just little deliberate production choices that I really enjoy noticing. I never noticed that when I listened to it before. Everybody wants eyes on them. I just want to hear you sing that top line. You think I mean it, then I understand, but I'm still glad you came, so let me see those. So stick to me, stick There's a really nice few lines there, and I think there's a lot of weight behind that. Too young to get bitter over it all, too old to retaliate like before. It's really nice that, you know, you're in that kind of Venn diagram age where it's like, before 10 years ago I could have acted out and people have been like, yeah, he's young, you know, it's let him do that. He hasn't got the emotional maturity to deal with that. But now, you know, you're at an age where you should you should have that emotional maturity, and you should be able to bite your tongue. Too blessed to be called, it says to be caught ungrateful. I thought it was called ungrateful. I'm probably wrong there. Too blessed to be called ungrateful, I know. You know, it's like, and on a very different scale, I get this a lot. I completely this lyric completely resonates with me, because I'm so privileged and so grateful to be able to say that I've done the things I've done, and, you know, to be able to look back and like anybody on the world could click a button and listen to my music. That is like so nice. It's really, really nice. And because of that, it feels wrong to complain, right? It feels, when something goes wrong, when something, you know, feels unfair, it feels unfair to complain about it, you know, because there's so much. I have it so much better than so many people, you know, especially right now, you know, the atrocities in the world going on right now, outrageous. So it's like, well, I'm not going to complain about that thing that's happened that's really bad, because that feels like I'm too blessed, you know, I'm too blessed to feel ungrateful. But the thing is, it's like, everybody can feel sadness. Everybody is entitled to feel any emotion, you know, absolutely. But it's just that feeling of guilt, you know, being like, I can't complain about that. I can't be upset, you know, because that's good. You know, I'm doing something that 10 years ago I would have killed to be in this position, kind of thing. It's just a really, really nice, poignant thing there. I also love this change of melody. So I'm going to scroll back a little bit.
So I'll keep dancing along to the
This.
rhythm. A beautiful nightmare, a war of attrition. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't.
So clever. This breakdown, so clever. That is just so clever, and it's a real like meta view of how people view Sleep Token. I feel like there's a misconception that people who aren't Sleep Token fans think there's like, you know, slow bit rap and then breakdown at the end. That's the categories they put all of their songs in, which is absolutely not the truth. Their song, like, arrangements and things are actually really quite complex. And I think like really pigeonholing this breakdown at the end of this like song, very sweet sounding song, is so clever, because it plays on that. It doesn't fit. It feels uncomfortable. It's like, oh, especially when the blast beats come in. It feels like, you know, a place that you shouldn't be. And it's just so clever, because that's exactly what it's saying, you know. Tell me, did I give you what you came for? Like, is this what you came for? I think it's so clever, and a really great way, I think, to I'd say like put a middle finger up, because it's not. It's not. I don't think it's disrespectful, but it's really to acknowledge what people are saying, which the whole song, that's what Vessel's saying. I thought I'd be unbothered by it. I thought things got better, but maybe they didn't. That whole idea of like being anonymous, but just because you're anonymous doesn't mean that when the mask is off, when the lights are down, when you're reading reactions to a video you've worked hard on or a song you've worked hard on, it will affect the person that is Vessel, the person that becomes Vessel. So it's like you're taking off the responsibility, you're taking off this person's clothes to become Vessel. But once you've taken all of that off, the weight that Vessel feels and sings about doesn't stay in the costume, didn't stay in the makeup. It's transferred back to the person who becomes Vessel. And I think this is a great encapsulation of that feeling in the lyrics. I don't know what else I'm saying here, so I'm just going to ramble until I ultimately press play on the song again, which is, well, it's about here.
Stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war of attrition. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't.
So good. I've just seen that this is an hour long already, and I'm 5 songs through. So I'm going to take a little break. Well, future me will describe this in a second. But I think that was a really cool song. Oh no. Now, how long has that been off? Now, how long has that been off? Okay, well then, I was just saying I'm gonna pause it because it's been an hour and I'm only halfway through the record. I will maybe see if maybe the second half will just come after a quick edit. Maybe it'll be uploaded as a separate video. I'm not sure. But now I need to go back and see when that cut off. Oh dear. Right. Okay, it's been a matter of seconds for you, but for me, it's been a long bank holiday weekend for digging into the juicy part 2 of Sleep Token's 4th record, Even in Arcadia. It's been weird not listening to it all the way through. I have listened to the first 5 songs a couple of times when I've been at the gym, and it's really got me chomping at the bit to do this second part. So here we go. We're going into track 6 without any further ado. This is the title track of the album, Even in Arcadia. Let's go. Oof. Whenever I hear soundscapes like this, like kinetic music boxes, it can be quite creepy. This isn't very creepy, but I'm just ready for a swell into like a really heavy breakdown, which gets me so excited. So we'll see where this goes. This is my first time listening to the record, if you didn't know that, so I hope I'm right. Oh, maybe not.
Come now, swing wide those gates, 'cause
Couldn't have been more wrong there. It is nice. It's like it's in 4/4, but it sounds like it's like a bar of 2, or well, I suppose a bar of 6, which is quite nice. I've always liked songs with that turnaround. Feels quite rushed, which is quite nice. Like a nice experience for the listener.
swing wide those gates, 'cause I have paid my penance kindly, waiting time for judgment day.
No, I'm wrong. Ignore me.
Somehow I knew my fate.
Sorry, I've paused it so much. Sorry. Everything's 4/4. Everything can be and should be 4/4. This one is 4/4. Sorry.
All the gods we thought were dying were just sharpening their blades. Have you been waiting long for me? I am the final dawn. I am the flood.
I really do like the use of vocoder throughout this record. There are like real backing vocals as well. But this here, that I am the final, whatever the melody is, has like an octave below on vocoder, which is just so nice, especially when talking about gods. You know, it's kind of like, is this from their perspective? It's like otherworldly, you know, which is really nice.
What was missing from those scriptures will be written in my blood. Deep down into the mud. What good is all this talk of winds when there is nothing left above? Have you been waiting long for me? Have you been waiting long? No matter how we feel, we've got a taste for one another and a few good years to kill. No matter what is real, it seems that even in Arcadia you walk beside me still. Have you been waiting long for me?
That's interesting there. That whole middle section of the song was building from like just vessel and a piano, a few percussive bits, to vessel, vocoder, piano, percussive bits, and then it's got really big there with synths, really wide. You know, you almost can't hear vessel, which is quite nice. It's like everything's come forward and almost vessel step back, which is a really nice swell, really nice crescendo. And then instead of going and going and going and then something big happening, it sinks right back down to that clarity that we heard at the start of the song, which is really nice. You know, it kind of treats that middle section as the breakdown, or, you know, the build, the swell, the big bit, which is nice because it's gradual. It's kind of like being a boiled frog. You know, they say if you put a frog in boiling, who does these experiments, by the way? If you put a frog in boiling water, it'll jump right out. But if you put a frog in room temperature water, any Brian Butterworth reference getters there? In room temperature water and slowly boil, it will stay there and eventually die, I suppose. But that's what this feels like. You know, you're kind of, because you're within the build the whole way and there's no like break and then bah, it's like you don't realize how big it is until it goes back down to nothing. It's a really good technique. I feel like I want to say awooga to that. You know, like when a wolf gets horny. What? Who said that? That's gorgeous.
For me,
Oh. That's interesting, because listening back to track one, what's track one called? Sorry, Look to Windward. I was wondering if the strings in that song were real, or you know, MIDI strings, because you can't really tell these days. Like, plugins are very good, and when they're that tucked, it's very difficult to tell. However, I think, you know, from a musician's standpoint, it's an integrity standpoint, you should get string players in to play these parts, you know, because string, especially, you know, the kind of high, and actually like cello stuff as well. It's so emotive hearing, and every single person who plays that instrument plays it differently. It's so emotive. And hearing this section here, this string like section here, you could tell this is played. This is played, and that's nice. That makes me happy, because it makes me think that they would have gotten the string parts for Look to Windward as well, rather than just use a MIDI, you know, plugin. "12 seconds of fade out." Nice.
I wanna be a provider.
Provider.
Granny, you is silk like a spider. Roll or die, you bet I'm a rider. You're out of shell, you're a secret insider.
That's quite a nice line, that. Roll or die, you bet I'm a rider. You know, you would call somebody your ride or die, but here you're saying roll or die, like make a bet, gamble. You bet I'm a rider. That's quite nice.
I wanna be a provider. Your guiding hand, your final decider. That bit of future, your fire. Stoke your desire. Just let me know that you're mine. I wanna be a provider. I wanna be a provider. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanna be
This could almost be a Jason Derulo song. Like, really getting some R&B riffs out there. Runs, riffs. The whole theme of the song being your provider. Interesting. That line reminds me of the San Andreas loading screens. That kind of West Side Cali, you know, synthy things. Interesting. Paddy. I feel like I've accidentally clicked on a different album. Some nice wordplay there. I found it breathing through a tube in the ICU. Yeah, ICU, as in the intensive care unit, and then ICU. It's quite nice, I suppose. It's always weird hearing a band like Sleep Token, you know, such a kind of stylized band, I suppose, talk about phones and stuff like that, because it just roots them so much in the now, you know, whereas if you were to look at a picture of a band photo, you know, classic like Kerrang metal, why did all metal vocalists do this? Do you know what I mean? Picture like that, I think you would like think that they wouldn't sing about modernity. It's just always, it doesn't freak me out. I mean, that is that's a bit of hyperbole, but it always, like, I don't know, flips something in my brain where I'm like, oh yeah, we're in 2025.
Exchanging the yes and silence with something unsaid on both ends.
Oh, I'm like, I don't know how to act right now. I'm gonna go crazy, go stupid. We're into our like fourth genre of the song here. Got some kind of like hyper pop, like Midwestern emo, twinkly bits on the guitar. After coming out of like what, you know, more what I would recognize as Sleep Token. I think this is going to be a grower. Initially, it's making me think too much, which means I'm like not in it, you know. I'm like, ooh, E.
Surely we know the difference.
That's nice. Drums. Just cut you off there, Vessel, sorry. There's something so satisfying about Sleep Token, like guitar sound. I think what they've done, I mean, they're tuned low. I think there's an octave below that as well, which means that the bass isn't just like a boom, 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 boom. And there's probably processing on the bass as well, of course. But it means that there's like an intensity and complexity to the bass sound. That just makes it feel like I probably did that. It makes me want to go. It makes me want to do that. And like loads of bands have been adding the octave down below, but the guitar like production that Carl does, he's the same in the Be Human record, Fight Star, because I know that he did that as well. It's really good. You get so much noise and like, but it's so clear. The clarity is still there, that's a very difficult thing to. If you ever try to produce metal guitars, it's a very difficult thing to do. I'm just gonna go back a tiny bit. Sorry.
I wanna be a provider.
provider.
Gonna you is silk like a spider.
Sounds like Birmingham.
Roll or die, you bet I'm a rider. Your outer shell, your secret inside.
Filter there.
And your fingers.
Got that melody coming back in there. Clean guitar. Well, clean. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that one. I think, like I said, I think I'd be a grower, to be honest, rather than a shower. You know what I mean? Right, Damocles. Oh, I started a song called Damocles. Sort of Damocles. Damocles. Quite heavy. I don't know the story of Damocles. Maybe I'll look it up. Some ancient Roman, Greek, some old bloke, probably. Here we go.
Well, I've been waking up under blades, blue blossom days. If only Damocles would hit me back. No.
Already really, really like this. Let's start again. The piano sounds really nice.
Well, I've been waking up under blades, blue blossom days. If only Damocles would hit me back. No alabaster carvings or faces on a farthing would prevent my head from fading to black. And it feels like falling into the sea from outer space in seconds to me. And I play discordant days on repeat.
That's smart. So under the word discordant, which means something that like doesn't quite go, you know, it's quite unsettling. It plays a different chord, and it kind of takes you like, you know, you're in that. It's been 40 seconds. It's comfortable. It's really pleasant chord progression, and then you say the word discordant and play something kind of out of left field. It's really nice. I really like songwriting like that.
I play discordant days on repeat.
And back into it, really nice.
Until they know.
And repeat as well, you know, as you go back to the same chord progression, you say repeat on repeat. It's really clever.
Like harmony.
And sorry, this is pause number 628. And to have introduce a harmony when you say the word harmony. Again, really solid songwriting. I'm going to go back a bit so we can listen to that properly. Sorry.
To me. And I play discordant days on repeat until they look like harmony.
Clever.
When the river runs dry and the curtain is cold, how will I know if I can't see the bottom? Come up for air and choke on it all. No one else knows that I've got a problem. What if I can't get up and stand tall?
gonna stop it there. Sorry, before I feel like it goes into another part. That's a really well, I was going to say nice. It's not very nice. It's quite painful thoughts. Quite painful thoughts. You know, when the river runs dry and the curtain is called, like when it's over. You know, how will I know if I can't see the bottom? It's kind of like it's unexpected. Murky waters. It's not what you wanted. Come up for air and choke on it all. I really like that. The idea of being like underwater, drowning, come up and, you know, try and get that, fill your air, your lungs with air, and then choking. It's like kind of like a cruelty to that. You know, no one else knows that I've got a problem. Really, like there are a lot of really painful. It's almost like cries for help. You know, I mean, I don't want to put words into Vessel's mouth, but I also don't want to belittle, you know, the kind of weight of what he's saying. Really nice, really nice. Sorry, I'm going to go back because I feel like it's going very quickly into another section. I didn't want to. I just wanted to say that before.
And who will I be when the empire falls? Wake up alone and I'll be forgotten.
That's a piano guitar tone we well, I've never heard on Sleep Token Song. It's really nice, quite like, you know, being in a garage with your mates, and it feels very like blissful ignorance to me. It looks like that sounds like someone who's got their I mean, it sounds very good, but I think its essence sounds like someone who's got their first like distortion, you know, like the Behringer distortion pedal. and like, you know, having fun in your first band. It feels really nice, nostalgic, I suppose.
Well, I know I should be touring. I know these chords are boring, but I can't always be killing the game.
What?
No golden grand pianos or voices from the shadows will do anything but feel the same.
What's going on?
It feels like falling into the deep from somewhere way up over the peaks.
Even like the drum beat and everything feels very like nostalgic, you know, like, I don't know, this is strange. This feels very strange to me. I'm enjoying it 100%. It just feels very, I don't know, strange. There it is again. Change of chord.
When the river runs dry and the curtain is cold, how will I know if I can't see the bottom? Come up for air and choke on it all. No one else knows that I've got a problem. What if I can't get up and stand tall? What if the diamond days are all gone? And who will I be when the empire falls? Wake up alone and I'll be forgotten. Nobody told me I'd be begging for relief. When what is silent to you feels like it's screaming to me. Well, nobody told me I'd get tired of myself when it all looks like heaven, but it feels like hell. When the river runs dry and the curtain.
Sorry, yeah, very good passage of lyrics there. Again, a lot of weight behind them. Wanted to chime in for the, well, nobody told me I get tired of myself and it all looks like heaven, but it feels like hell. Something I think a lot of people have experienced, I suppose. I toured America a lot in 2017. Probably spent 4 months in America completely alone. No manager, no tour manager, no sound guy. By myself, me and my guitar. And it sucked. It sucked. That is a new kind of loneliness that I don't wish upon anybody. First few days were great because I was like, oh, I could do what I want. you know. I'm not, I don't have to be polite. If I want to go get food, I'll go get food, if you know. And it was nice, but very quickly I just I fed up with myself, realized that I don't really like my own company. And it's just a new kind of loneliness. I'd never felt like that before. I was 24 at the time, and like it was just a really eye-opening experience, and something that made me want to give up music. Like I never wanted to tour again, which is mental, because that is like the best thing about being a musician, in my opinion. Well, sometimes. So yeah, again, you know, when it all looks like heaven, but it feels, you know, I was playing sold out rooms, small rooms, but sold out rooms, and now I was going back to the dressing room, and like I had nobody to share that with. I had nobody say, "Good job, mate." You know, it was all just like, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. And that really sucked. So I resonate with that a lot. A lot.
When the river runs dry and the curtain is cold, how will I know if I can't see the bottom? Come up for air and choke on it all. No one else knows that I've got a problem. What if I can't get up and stand tall? What if the diamond days are all gone? And who will I be when the empire falls? Wake up alone and I'll be forgotten.
Mate, could you just go absolutely bloody mental on that fill? Yeah. Again, I think that's going to be another grow. I really like that one already. I feel like that one's going to probably become one of my favorite songs on the album. Feels there's a vulnerability there. I just looked up Damocles just because in Greek mythology is known for the story of the sword of Damocles, a metaphor for the constant threat or danger faced by those in positions of power or privilege. Right. Okay. So it's that kind of like double-edged sword of like, this is great, but nice. Next song. Gethsemane. Sorry.
I wanted you to know I've learned to live without it. And even though it's cold and now I no longer feel surrounded, and you never listen to me, and that's the thing I tell the others. You were my harlequin bride, I was your undercover lover, but no, you never saw me naked. You wouldn't even touch me, except if you were wasted. But you were trying your best, and that's the thing I tell the others. I was your robot companion. You were my favorite color, and
What?
try to turn myself into for you. Someone who didn't mind the push, pull, part of games.
That's a nice switch around. God, I'm just like, I don't know. It feels like a side project, you know, or something. And like, this isn't a bad thing. I think bands should be constantly, you know, increasing the space of their comfort zone. The only way you do that is by trying new things. It's just so not what I expected. I'd be interested to see if everybody else had a similar reaction or experience listening to this record, because that is just like, I don't know, it's just so different. It's just not what I expected. That's a nice flip with the lyrics there. You know, it's before Vessel was saying about, you know, you were trying your best and that's what I tell the others. But here he then flips on himself saying, and I was trying my best and that's the thing I tell the mirror. So it's kind of like everything else has disappeared, you know, and now it's just me in front of the mirror. And I was in love with the thought we were in love with each other. I think it's a very universal felt. I think everybody's felt that. You know, interesting.
We're in love with each other. What might be good for your heart might not be good for my head.
This is nice.
What was there at the start might not be there in the end. Do you wanna hurt me? Do you wanna hurt me? 'Cause nobody hurts me better.
Really nice idea there. Do you want to hurt me? Do you want to hurt me? Because nobody hurts me better. It's kind of like a painful realization, I suppose. Okay. Well, what they are doing is they are like drip feeding me new. They are giving everybody new textures, new palettes, you know, new styles of music, and then just drip feeding the like classic sleep tokenisms in there, which kind of like roots you back, you know, the elastic snaps, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. And maybe if I wasn't pausing it all the time, it wouldn't feel so jarring, you know, and it would feel a bit more like comfortable. Well, comfortable is the wrong word, but it would feel less, you know, less uncomfortable, I suppose. This is really nice. I really like this section here. Well, I like the whole thing. It's just, I just need it, you know, I constantly need to remind myself that I'm listening to Sleep Token, which that's quite cool, I think. You know, it brings back to that kind of being the vessel moniker. It kind of harkens back to that. Harken. Hark the herald angels sing. And that's what I've always said.
Do you wanna hurt me? Do you wanna hurt me? 'Cause nobody hurts me better.
Sounds like crowd noise in the background there, cheering, but it's like distant, you know, it's far away. There was also in the start of that like a scream, like so low, just gave like a static, you know, to the breakdown, which is really interesting. It's also I think it was the start of this song, where it felt like static, you know, kind of like a white noise, but it could also feel like rain, which is quite a nice contrast as well. It's like the week, you know, song from The Weekend, or like a Travis Scott kind of interlude there.
Still here when I'm on my own. The parasites and the nightmares calling my name like this one's for you and your problems, your good day job, your bad karma. What are you afraid of? The same trauma, show me what you're made of. Cause you talk about your constant pain like I ain't got none. And I've learned to live beside it. And even though it's over now, I will always be reminded.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Should listen to that outro again.
Cause you talk about your constant pain like I ain't got none. And I've learned to live beside it. And even though it's over now, I will always be reminded.
I love the vocal processing at the end there. You know, it's so bright that all of the like harshness, no, always be reminded, whatever it was, sorry, all of the like grittiness is just so accentuated. It feels so painful. I love that vocal production at the end there. Yeah, really, really, really good. Okay, next. This is the outro. It's the final song. Okay. Still got battery? Yes. Okay. Is that the same melody from Look to Windward? No. No. Okay, but it is the same sound, basically. That's nice. It makes the album cyclic, you know, where it feels like you can listen to it on repeat. The beginning and the end have kind of joined in a way at the bottom. It's really nice. Bottom, end. Bottom. Slightly different sense.
When you plucked me from the grotto, sounding like a supermodel. When I would wake in staccato, no lightning in a bottle, just one eye on the target and 2 bricks on the throttle. I know now that even if I am frozen, timeless as ghost in my nightmares of the ocean. The precipice I'm approaching. Well, you will empty the darkness. You will keep me in motion. I know now. Infinite paths washing over me at last. You the method in my madness. You the glory in my wrath. Infinite paths bursting colors when you laugh. I have fought so long to be here and never going back.
That's a great clap sound.
Even if I'm on my own, well, the silence is deafening. I could be stuck here alone. Well, even my future is threatening. Something is lifting the bones. Something is dancing in a revelry. Wider than oceans below. Taller than titans on box springs. The waters are a war. Where they used to run freezing, where they used to be storms. My horizon is fleeting. I'm so tired inside. I could sleep through a landslide, but I'm finally here, and I'm not leaving this.
Actually, like a real glimmer of positivity here at the end. And the music is also changing to reflect that as well. It feels a lot more positive, a lot warmer, which is nice. You know, I know I've paused it a million times, but there has been a theme of weight and hurt throughout this. Quite nice for the outro song to flip that, you know, and it might be fleeting. It says here my horizon is fleeting. It's quite nice to have that resolution, I suppose. You know, I talk a bit about in the first part, I think, about that relationship between tension and resolution. And this, that was within the music and sonically, whereas this is lyrically kind of providing that relief. It's really nice. It's like a nice, satisfying end, you know. So far.
I could sleep through a landslide, but I'm finally here, and I'm not leaving this time. Infinite paths washing over me at last. You the method in my madness. You the glory in my wrath. Infinite paths bursting colors when you laugh. I've been running since I got here, but now I'm falling into
What? So this feels like almost like a different character. You know, Vessel was, when he was singing, was talking about, you know, finally I'm falling into infinite baths, like a positive thing, you know, washing over me, positive thing. And then this like second voice, almost voice back of your head, what a different character, whatever, you know, I don't know, it could be three or four screaming this as well. Kind of using that and saying, you know, you will drown in an endless sea. So we've gone from infinite baths, which feels a lot warmer, a lot like, oh, I'm going to go take a bath and chill out. And then you've got like something meaning basically exactly the same in endless sea, which feels a lot more like, well, a lot less comfortable, you know, a lot more, there's like malice in that almost. And obviously the way it's being delivered, yeah, that screaming, like gritty. Interesting. So maybe it's not so positive after all. Let's go back a tiny bit more, sorry. There it is again, that cyclic nature. Will you halt this eclipse in me? That Vessel was singing in track 1 is now being scribed. Wow, yeah, wow, that's, it's like, it's really like, pain there, you know. Interesting. Okay. Oh. It's going. Maybe a fade out. Yeah. I love a faded out breakdown because it makes you think that it's like just infinite. It's just going to keep going, you know. But the door's closing on it for me. Like, I'm not going to see it anymore, but it's just going to keep going. Again, I hate to keep bringing up Fight Star, but Death Card does it as well. It's just like so, but like someone's turning the volume down. Crikey. That outro was just cool. I could imagine, you know, Vessel doing his shaky hand and his like goofy dance. Goofy. I love it, but you know what I mean. Around the stage there. That made me want to throw a punch. Okay, well, they brought me back at the end there. That's really nice. Conceptually, the first track and the last track is a really nice, like, opening and closing of the book. And this is why I say it's so important to listen to albums as a whole, in my opinion, you know, because you wouldn't get that, like, callback or that, like, oh, yeah, that was the lyric from the first song, or, you know, oh, that sounds like the lyric in the first song, without doing that. And, you know, by themselves, these songs will stand up and will provide a different feeling and you know, provoke different thoughts. But in the context that it's given to us by the band, I think it's at least once, you know, it's important to listen to it. As a musician, the track listing of an album is an extremely difficult thing. And, you know, I was nowhere near as talented as these artists that are able to, like, tie a narrative through an album, through, you know, 10 songs, 11 songs, and kind of have you coming back to the start. It's something that I've always envied bands and artists, you know, to be able to do that, because it's just, it's not the way I write songs. It's not the way that I kind of conceptualize albums, you know. That's really good. It's really good. There were a few moments where I was like, huh? And I'd be interested to see if you guys experienced that through your first listen, because it just felt a bit jarring for me as a Sleep Token fan. I imagine that if this was somebody's first Sleep Token album, it would be less jarring. But for me, having listened to the 3 albums that came before it, I wasn't expecting a lot of that stuff. And again, I love that. I love the slow pulse and increase of Comfort Zone. That's something I really enjoy. It's evolution, you know, it's something that you can sit and listen to all 4 albums, in this case, in a row, and feel and you know, kind of experience that evolution as you listen. I think that's something that's really, really valuable as a listener to music. Big fan. I understand this is going to be a 2-hour video. I'm very sorry. Please let me know if you made it this far. Please do let me know in the comments if this is something that it's way too long. You know, I will be putting chapters in so that you can skip to parts that you want to see, or if you know you got to go make dinner or go for a swim. Do people do that? You can come back and pick up where you left off, kind of thing. But it's just something, and I'm glad that I did. I'm glad I stuck with it because of this song in particular. It's something that, you know, I think it's the correct thing to listen to it all the way through. And also, should I be cutting, you know, the bits where I'm just going, you know, let me know. Again, that just feels unfair and incorrect. More of like a listen along style video, I suppose, with me just like barking in your ear every now and then. But yeah, this is something that it will take a few more listens, you know, without pauses and all that nonsense to fully grasp and understand, you know. But if I enjoy those jarring bits, well, enjoy is the wrong word, appreciate those jarring bits, you know, more than when they first happen, and I'm like, hang on, just pump the brakes a little bit, you know, let me understand what's happening. I could see this album being quite polarizing, not just within the metal world, but within the Sleep Token fan base as well. I'm really looking forward to hearing a lot of these songs live. I imagine they will shine in that environment, you know, and that's something that I am really looking forward to, actually. Again, thank you so much if you watched this far. I really appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts, and also what I should react to next. You know, I'm like serial listener to music, so I don't want to pretend that I haven't heard something before, you know, and do that. But I know that there's music out there that I haven't listened to or haven't got a chance to listen to yet. So just chuck them in the comments and maybe I will listen to that next. Thanks so much again. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense, and I'll see you in the next video.